All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. And I will rest therein. I'm coming with the topic, the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter. The truth of the matter. And I'm going to be talking about several things. And the truth of the matter is every topic I'm going to cover. I want to give you some info of what I'm seeing within the topics in which I speak or I bring forth. Yesterday, was it yesterday? It was yesterday. That's just how my mind is nowadays. The funeral was yesterday. I was so beat when I got back. I went straight to bed, and I apologize for not coming on at 7 p.m. Central. I said I would be on at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I was not, and I was beat down. I was just that tired, you guys. It was like someone had beat me down. That's how tired I was. I was really tired, and I wasn't able to come on yesterday at 7 p.m. Central Time. I got several topics to pretty much cover. One is the Spirit was dealing with me earlier today as I was preparing meals for my children, my adult children. I did what? Uh, Chicken and dumplings, spaghetti and green beans. I did steak, teriyaki steak over wild rice. And I did grilled chicken breast over wild rice with a teriyaki sauce. Um, what else? Oh, I did um, chicken Alfredo. I did three different spiced chicken wings with uh, stir fry squash with the different chicken wings, the three different kind of chicken wings, and these are all different. I made like six of each one. I did a turkey long uh, po' boy sandwich. A turkey. It had banana peppers, spinach, onions, and loaded. And I stuffed it with turkey, and I made one with onions and one without. So I chopped those up in pieces and wrapped them for them. I did all kind of meals. I'm gonna do a vegetable tray, which is going to be I'm gonna do stir fry spinach, yams, and cornbread. That's going to be the vegetable tray because to keep them from eating meat, sometimes someone might want to just eat some vegetables. So I'm going to do the vegetable tray, which is I'm doing the stir fry cabbage and the sweet potatoes and the cornbread, and I'm doing uh, a stuffed potato. Oh, my stuffed potatoes are the bomb. So these are meals I fix, and I make about 60. It's probably more than 60. And I put them in a little container, and I put it in their freezer, and uh, they you just go in and take something out, put it in the oven, and And the reason why I did that, my son Jonah, who's home from the ski resort, he was staying. I mean, he wasn't staying. He was working at in is it Denver, Colorado ski resort, and he was there. And he came home and he said, "Mama, I've been here 2 weeks and I'm so tired of fast food." He said, "Would you please make us some meals?" And he ain't saying nothing but a word. And they pay me. They pay me. And I made them up a whole bunch of different like entrees, just really, and I made them individual so that if no one hands has to be in all of it and everything. So they appreciate it. And last night when I dropped them by at 9 o'clock, you should have seen them, y'all. You should have seen them. You would have thought that they just won something. And they was just happy, and that's what makes it more important. But my oldest son, I dropped the meals off, and I said, "Okay, y'all, I got a long ride back, which is like 40 minutes, and I'll see y'all later." And my old son ran outside. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "Mama, I don't like the feeling." I said, "What?" He said, "We are not a family anymore." I said, "Why you say that?" He said, "We don't see you at all." He said, "We don't see you. You don't come around, and we don't do family things like we used to." And he said, "This is my oldest son. He's 43." And he's like, I know the food. I appreciate the food, and I thank you for the food, but I don't want the food. I want you to be around us. I want you to spend time." And I told him, I'm going to take out, I'm going to find out how I'm going to do that. But I'm going to take out some time and just be in the midst of them, uh, sometimes. Because Sister Deborah, hmm, I stay off to myself, y'all. I don't bother nobody, and off to myself. Uh, Even among my kids, I just stay off to myself. And I'm really not to myself because I'm constantly hearing the voice of the Most High dealing with me. So I know that He's with me. So I'm really not alone, none whatsoever. So I want to talk about something I noticed that's happening. And because I noticed it was happening when I was uh, doing their meals, and what I do is I make a mess, clean up, start the next task as far as the meals, clean up, and just in this particular time today, earlier today, the Spirit of the Most High, I was saying it when I was in the water. And I wasn't saying it to the Most High, y'all. I was just thinking because I had saw several videos of people who are on YouTube, and they always talking about what's in the church, what's in the world, and what's going on in the world. But this is the problem I had, y'all. And it's a problem to me because I'm going to break this thing up and I'm going to break this thing down. And I was like listening to them, and I was like, hey, dude, why is it everything that the men on these platforms talk about, it always has to end up about woman being the cause of it all? And that's amazing to me. I mean, it could say, if say for instance, everybody at church and it started lightning and thundering. Oh, if it wasn't for the women, if they just would have sat down and not have on a dress, all these, it's all, y'all, you probably think that this sister just a little bit over the hill, over the cliff, and you probably think I'm exaggerating. No, baby, this sister has a spirit to hear behind hearing. I don't, in this situation, I didn't have to hear behind hearing because I heard it in front of me. And I'm sitting here listening to it. I mean, it was like if someone has a crash, two men, one in one car and one in the other. When it's said and done, they gonna talk about it was a woman's fault. Everything, and it's just amazing that everything they say. Okay, one was talking about this one guy, and he had another guy on his YouTube platform, and he was talking about why is it that the things that go on in church, nobody wants to tell or bring it forth, all the wicked and evil. And he was talking. Now listen to this. Listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. He say, the pastor is having sex with the members. The deacons is having babies by women in the church. The choir is gay, and nobody brings it up. Nobody address these wicked issues. Did you know when they finish? Guess who the issue rests on? The way women dressed in church, the way women hug men in church. You know what, you guys? I'm gonna tell you the truth of the matter. When the Father gave me that the other day about men has the biggest position on the earth, and I think they do, and that's why I know they're in trouble. Oh, that's why they're in trouble. You see, and that's why the judgment is going to come. It's not going to. It's on them. And I know they getting away with it. It appeared to be, and it looks like it, but they're not. It's the way the Father is bringing in the judgment. It's in already, but it's the way He's doing it. Because I'm sitting here just washing dishes and just thinking. I said, this is what I was saying. I don't understand. Seems like that's a real demonic issue. When the tribe of Judah men, every issue has to rest on a woman being the fault. How can you fix your car and it breaks down, but it's a woman's fault? How is it when you go to get your suit from the cleaners and you put it on, it's a woman's fault? Why is it everything that has to do with you has to be justified and clarified and identified as a female fault? And I'm like looking at that and I'm like, I'm washing these dishes. I said, but if their position is the biggest position on the face of the earth that was called from the throne of the Most High Yah, do they understand how much trouble they're in? Do they understand that? So this guy, he was talking about this one guy who is a YouTuber. He was talking about how in Corinthians and how Paul had to address the church, and the church, because there was a man in the church who was having an affair with the pastor's wife. And I'm like saying he was speaking on. He says in Corinthians, I didn't get all Corinthians, no, chapter 5. That's where he came from. Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1 through something. But he was talking about that subject. Okay, but he was saying how Paul addressed it and how the pastors and the leaders today do not address these things that's going on in the church, nor anywhere. They are not attacking or coming after or bringing forth judgment toward all these things that's out here that is actually taking place. And he just wore it out what Paul did, that Paul addressed the situation, even though he wasn't there to see what had took place, but he was addressing the situation, because he said he had heard that in the church someone in the church was having an affair with the pastor's wife. Okay, and I'm like, listen to this. I'm listening to this. And his whole thing is, why is it everyone is afraid to address the pastors, the leaders in the church? What's the problem with addressing all this homosexual in the choir and the choir director? Why is it nobody saying anything to them? You know why? Because in y'all heart of heart, you are so busy addressing females so that you can get away with the sin itself. And that's what the Father went on and sharing with me. Because during that time, I was at washing dishes and I was just thinking, how is it? Or how can that be? The Father is telling me in His judgment, men are going to see what they never thought they would see. His judgment is coming for them. He said that's why they want women to be silent. He said it ain't got nothing to do with. Paul said one time women should be silent, but he was also saying it because there was chaos in the church then. You see? And he was telling the women, instead of you getting in this chaos, ask your husband when he get home, or ask your husband when you go home, and he should tell you the chaos. Why? Because the chaos wasn't about the women; it was the chaos among the men. You see what I'm saying? See, and just thinking of that reminds me back to what I'm talking about now. It's chaos between you all, but you all make it about the woman. It's always chaos when you have men in any type of unity or coming together because they feed off of each other's wicked and evil, and they support it. So when sister was teaching the lesson about, and believe it or not, a lot of you all probably didn't put that in your backpack, but it's very powerful. Because what it's actually saying is what you see in today. While everybody trying, as far as female, and it would try to say the reason why these things are happening, we played a role. Let me tell you something, baby. No, you didn't. See, the role was played back in the beginning. They dropped their position from the throne. Just imagine Sister Deborah is here and I'm on the heavenly throne and I'm Yah. Now, if I'm on the throne and I say, okay, I'm going to make this and I'm going to make this and I'm going to make this and I'm going to make this. Over here, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to make this. But when he make it and place it exactly where he said he wanted, and one before the other, and in his order, according to his will, the first human that was given his image threw the baton on the ground, as well as took his crown off and laid it to the ground. Saying what? Men never took their righteous position from the throne. That's why today you see him trying to take the position of a female. First and foremost, a lot of Judah females don't know. A lot of these men that's gay is really mimicking to be like you. You see? A lot of them sin and wicked and evil. To keep the sin and wicked and evil for showing the light on them, they got to put you in front of them. But the Father say, no. Do they not know that I see where I put and who I put in front? See, a lot of y'all didn't get it. I knew a lot of you all didn't get what was taught the other day. And 100% of the men, they ain't gonna get it. They can say they get it, but they don't get it. Because to get it is a form of repenting to the throne. You got to repent to the throne that you don't know, or you didn't know that he had created you to be a man. And this is what you were created to be and to do. What they do, they rather hear another man tell them who they are, what they should be doing, how they should be doing it. Why? Because what they're teaching them is how to be the sin, the wicked, and evil on the earth. Not to be a man that serves the Most High Yah. Not to be a man that worship and praise. When have you heard a man that's a praying man? You probably won't find them. You be lucky you find one. One that stays on his knees and praying to the Most High at the throne, at the foot of Yah, praying. I mean, a sincere, fiery praise to the Most High Yah. You ain't going to find them. Why? Because they're buckling up with other men to teach them how to be a man, especially in this day and time. How can I be a king? How can I be a ruler? How can I be a Lion of Judah? You'll never be a Lion of Judah. Only the Messiah himself was. You cannot be the Lion of Judah. You don't even know what the Lion of Judah is. Not the living, powerful anointed and appointed lion. Have y'all ever seen lions? Some of them look frail and look like they just all beat. Then you seen this big old plush lion. Come on now. Jacob said Judah ain't going to be nothing but a small cub all the way up to an old lion crouched down doing nothing. So how you going to pull up and be the lion of Judah? Come on. You be in the trouble to Judah. And the whole idea of teaching that message was the Father wanted not just men, but women to understand everything that was created by that right hand and that stretched out arm. He didn't make no mistake. He didn't have no error. But the problem came in when I decided to have and create, and I created, put it down here. The moment he got down here, first thing he do, he takes his crown off. What is the crown? Being the first created, to lead, to guide, to direct. Eve wasn't even created. You see? Why would you say to lead, to guide, to direct? Because he was given the whole earth by himself. By himself. Until the Father. You notice when he created the animals? Okay? It is said, now I don't stick to this part because the Roman Catholic has done a lot of smearing. It is said that he named them, he named all of the animals, the beasts or the animals or what all that Yah had created. Adam was there with it himself. You see the leadership that he was already called to. You don't have to have a woman to lead, to guide, to do what's righteous, what's just, what's upright. All you need is to understand, wait a minute, I'm called to be this from the kingdom. From where? The throne of the Most High Yah. From where? His mighty right hand. Something the men didn't teach y'all. And that's why that same right hand that these men reject, and refuse to teach you is going to be that same stretched out arm and that right hand going to whoop your tail. And I ain't talking about tomorrow. I'm talking about right now. See, they didn't tell you that, did they? They didn't tell you he had a powerful hand, did they? They didn't tell you he had a powerful hand and a stretched out arm. They didn't teach y'all that. And they ain't going to teach you because they want you to think you got it and you are all that and some. How you going to be able to override he that created you when that's what they're doing, y'all, whether you know it or not? They are allowing the flesh of man to teach, lead, and guide them and tell them you're a king, you're a leader, you're a ruler. Baby, you lost all of that way back in Genesis. You lost all of that long time ago. And this is why the Roman Catholic was able to take the book and smear it the way they were able to smear it. Because you already had messed it up from the floor up. No one would talk about, wait, hold up now. Wait a minute, hold up, bro. When he got ready to bring all that forth, wait a minute, Adam, you was by yourself. He never gave her the charge. He gave it to you. Why? Because you are born to be a man, to lead, guide, walk in front. You gave that position up a long time ago, even to today, because you're too ignorant to know how to do it now. Because it was gone a long time ago. And I sit back and I said, but Father, you knew all the time they wasn't going to hold that baton. He said, yeah, Deborah, I know Adam wasn't going to hold it. That's why I put 2 trees in the garden, not one. I put a tree I know he was going to grab. You see, y'all the one stupid when you're trying to make the Most High stupid. You the one stupid. That right hand is stretched out arm is the one to put the 2 trees in the garden. Because he knew already. The first man that I was going to create was going to turn away from his position, his creative position on the earth. He didn't want. And the Most High knew it. to the point where he said, Deborah, I'm going to always have a ram in the bush. I said, yeah, I saw Abraham pull up. I saw Isaac too. I saw Jacob. I saw David. I saw them all pulling up. They pulling up with what? The spiritual seed to come down here and take up the what? The tree of life. See, y'all don't understand. He don't care if you don't take the tree of life. He just put it there. You think he don't know you're not going to take it? He already know that. See, y'all play a game with yourself. You ain't playing that on him. So when I was teaching that message, and I'm speaking still on the same guideline, the truth of the whole matter, when he created man had to stand down and come back up. And when they come back up, they had to have come back up upright. Why? Because he first has to find out, who am I? That's why you got 80% of them trying to put on women clothes and be a female to another man. Why y'all trying to steal our creator position? Hey, you men, why you all trying to steal our creator position? You can't say that much for a woman. Every woman that I have interviewed was because the way the man destroyed their bodies as little babies and little girls, they hated men from that time on and didn't want no contact with men. When daddy and granddaddy, daddy's brother, uncle, daddy's cousin, uncle, daddy, cousin, brother, all that mess went on in the household. And a lot of people try to justify and clarify that women receive welfare for the children, and that's why they put these men. Y'all, these men were sick before you even got them. And the only way you're going to know that is when that ruach break them words down to you. Outside of that, when the men come, they're going to turn it in the way they want to turn it. But when that ruach pull up, you better trust in that spirit of the Most High Yah teaching you that word and putting it in the proper contents in your spirit. Because if not, you lost with the cause and without. Because you've been using these loudmouth men, and ain't now one of them can tell you what is your purpose. They'll tell you, I'm a pastor, I'm a deacon, I'm a bishop, I'm an evangelist, I'm a priest, I'm a Moorian, I'm a watchman. You ain't nothing if you don't know what your purpose is down here, period. Because before you was any of that, what were you and what was the purpose of you being here? They can't tell you. So I'm sitting here, and the Father said to me in the water earlier when I was saying, I was just thinking it. You know how you just doing something, and I'm just watching this and just thinking, why is it they mind so sick? Why is it? Now, don't get me wrong now. We got many, many, many women that's off the chain. But see, what the men didn't understand, he ain't coming to check them. He coming to check you. He ain't coming to check them women. This is how dumb they are. He coming to check you. Why them, Deborah? Because he know that he put the seeds in the men. So if that woman cuckoo clock, it's because the daddy cuckoo clock. See, y'all don't understand that. And then Messiah pulled up and started telling you, men, your worst fault in your household is what's in your household, meaning what he's breathing forth. What you bringing forth is going to be your enemy. They done made their wife their enemy. You see? No, them seeds in you, in your own house, is your worst, is your outside of you being your own worst enemy, and a part of you being your own worst enemy because you was created and you don't know what for. But you want to be on a pulpit talking about you pastoring a congregation. You a bishop. You an evangelist. You an apostle. You think life is about going around here dipping the flesh in nasty water and pulling them out and saying they baptized. Baby, if you don't know the baptism, baby, you don't know the baptism, baby. You got to be baptized by the fire. And see, that's why they cuckoo clock still. They go in, a dry devil, come up a wet one. Because they fail to realize, baby, you first have to be baptized by the fire, not by water. The water's for your flesh. And you can bet ain't no water going to clean your sin. So why are you being baptized by water that a man drew out of the faucet? You got to clean this nasty flesh from the inner man. And that fire comes from the fire of the Most High God. You think he gonna cleanse you? Okay, I tell you what, you go on under the water. See if you meet up with the Most High Yah. You're gonna meet up with your self-own understanding, which is your flesh. Because Yah said before he come, baby, you're gonna have to be washed by the fire. You're gonna have to be baptized by the fire. See, that's why none of them don't have the Ruach. They don't have the Holy Spirit. Because they still don't understand, baby, before the Most High enter into your spirit, you got to be baptized by the fire, not by water. That's for your flesh, to make you think you in there. The true baptism is by fire. When you baptize by fire, then the Ruach will come and live and abide in you. He ain't gonna baptize you in the flesh and then come live inside of you. He gonna baptize you by the fire. And that's something they missed. That's something they don't understand. Because see, it went over their heads. So seeing them do it, seeing this over and over and over, it's a nonstop. I don't care what nobody does on the earth. The tribe of Judah men will always blame woman. And the Father said to me in the water, this is a sickness, Deborah. It is a demonic sickness that's upon them. I said to the Father, I knew it was something. I just couldn't pinpoint it. I couldn't call it demonic. I couldn't call it, what the Spirit tells me it is. I couldn't call it that because I couldn't, it didn't make it, none of it made any sense. But when he tells me it's demonic, it makes sense now. It makes sense. Here it is. You got a position from the heavens by the mighty right hand and the stretched out arm of he that sit on the throne, and you don't even know what it is. A woman can't take a position y'all called you to unless you gave your position up, which most of you did, and ain't own that thing. And that's why a lot of them not delivered from anything. Here I'm sitting here listening to these guys. Yeah, these women be coming to church and boy, they'll walk up to you and hug you. And this one guy said, I say, that's why I don't hug them. I hug them from the side. Or when, they be coming, they be dressed like this. Do you know what that means, y'all? Y'all know y'all don't. I'm going to say it because you ain't going to get it. You ain't going to get it. It's too late to get anything around about now. Why they sitting here talking about how the women are dressing and how the women would hug and the members in the church might walk up and hug you and embrace you. And the men will say, no, that's not a good thing. But when they hug the women, they hug them by the side because this sister dress might be too tight or this sister dress might be too short. Or let me tell y'all something. When you go into the real, let me get y'all straight. When you go into a real house of y'all, ain't nobody looking at nobody. Looking for a blessing to go up and a blessing to come down. That's real, y'all. That's what you call truth of the whole matter. When you go in there and you start letting your eyes with your flesh have dominion over you, then you are in the flesh and you are man. You are not a man of the spirit. Because when you are full of the Ruach HaKodesh, let me tell you something. You ain't got time to look at no woman and nobody. You all about the Father's business. See, that's what I'm saying. They don't know anything. And because they have been led by the flesh of man who never realized that his purpose from the kingdom, they messed up from the floor. They'll never find their way home. I've been saying that. I understand. Because if your first thing, when you come into a situation where you're running your mouth, talking about the Most High Yah, and you come to the knowledge, first thing your butt should come to the knowledge is, what do you have for me? What should I know about me? What should I know about me from you, from your throne, Father? Tell me, what is it that you called me to? What is my purpose? What is my destiny? Well, tell me. But they don't do that. They don't ever want to seek ye the kingdom first. They want to run to a man. And because they didn't have a father, the father didn't want to have them. See, that's another thing these men don't understand. These fathers ain't left you because they left you. They left you because they didn't want you no more than you wanted. No, I ain't going to say no more than you wanted because it wasn't your choice. They don't care about leaving you. That's why they left so many of them. They run around here, my daddy, my daddy. Daddy pull up after 50 years, and all of a sudden he closer than you, than your mama. That's sickness. That's demonic. That's sickness. He left you for 50 years. Right now, he can't run with you. He can't do homework with you. He can't show you this, and he can't show you this. He can't take you to the baseball game. He can't do nothing. But now, all of a sudden, he better than mama. Now, mama's so evil and negative and bad, and daddy ain't never seen you in 50 years. You gone. You gone. You just don't know you gone, but you gone. You all the way gone. Y'all better touch base with Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 and said till you destroy. He mean it mentally and physically. Because that judgment's going to come destroy your butt. And the ones he's going to get up out of here is going to be the one he take to the promised land. But he got something for you down here. While you running around here, you might see Iran, you might see Israel over the war. And he told you in Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6, don't worry about them wars. Don't worry about them wars. You need to be pulling up and understanding nation against nation. That means a people against a people. Kingdom against kingdom. This, he said, this is what you call sorrow. No, they don't pay no attention to that. They over here talking about the wars everywhere else. Come to the front line. Where you at? Grip that, because that's what's happening, whether you know it or not. And they so busy trying to. Do you all know that this is what really triggered me when I heard this? Is when I heard a female say, and I was just scrolling through my TV on YouTube, and this lady said, she was saying something, and she said, do you know that there are men on YouTube bragging about the young lady that met the white guy, and he chopped her all up and scattered her all over the place, her body parts? Do you know that the brothers are actually bragging about it? Say that's what she get. Now, see, this is y'all run y'all tails around here and think these men got it right. Something wrong that's gone. And if it wasn't for him showing me Deuteronomy 28 end game, I'll say, well, no, something going on. Bob, I'd probably be cuckoo clocked all over again. But because he showed me Deuteronomy 28, he got it already set. He gonna destroy your butt. He gonna destroy your butt. So you can go and blame any and everybody. You took it too far. I believe Israel have taken it too far. The hate that they have developed within themselves as thinking that they are kings, leaders, and rulers, and have not shown nobody, the true king, the true ruler. But they are kings, leader, and ruler in the land of their oppressor. Ain't that deep? In the land of their oppressor. If you don't see that to be cuckoo clock, I don't know who is. Because it shows you that something it's missing. They're missing something. And when he gave it to me and was saying that they were the first, they got the most powerful position. First thing I said, but I thought women did because the labor and carrying them 9 months. And he said that we had to pick up the baton that they freely threw down. They freely threw it down. And the women went and picked it up because they felt the need before they let the children do it out. This is what the Spirit was telling me. And they running around here blaming everything that they didn't do. And because men are feeding them negativity about women, this is what they are geared to support them in not taking care of their children, and they got children all over the place. Where's their medical care, their dental? Wait a minute, food, housing. What's up? You think Yah created you and put all those babies in your womb for you to drop them and keep it going? See, y'all think this stuff is something to play with. And I want you to think it's something to play with, because you know what I said to the Father today? I need to pull out. I need to stand back and watch what your judgment gonna bring on these people, because these people are full of it. It is Judah is such a hot mess, a hot mess. I mean, and it's just that nobody is, and these men, they older than I am, or my age, or probably older. They sitting here talking about why isn't nobody talking about people doing things wrong in the church and leading people in churches and say they people of the Most High Yah, and they leading these people all kind of ways in the ways that the world would go. These people are leading these people and homosexual in the church, and they're not addressing that. Pastors messing with women in the church and messing with other white married women, and I'm like saying, you address it. Stand on the mountaintop, address unrighteous. How about that? Standing on this thing, talking that yang, 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 yang ain't it. Stand on the mountaintop, call it out. See, what they think they doing is being able to come to these devil platforms and make videos to get likes and subscribers. That's really what it's about. Because if it's about what? Righteous and truth, stand on that bad boy. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna stand on it and say when these people are doing this wrong and this is wrong, this no, they won't. Because it's you know how, I don't know if y'all know this, the police department has a code of silence. They got a real tight code. And they can do whatever they want. They not gonna say nothing. It's been going on for years. And that's how I feel about Judith men. They got this code that they're gonna stick together no matter what to make themselves look good. And y'all sitting here saying, you're gonna look good, huh? So you're looking good, huh? Okay. When this judgment hits you, we're gonna see what woman you're gonna blame it on then. It be my right hand and my stretched out arm. Blame that, because I'm here. And he's gonna do everything he said he's gonna do. But the thing he don't want is nobody to set his time and set the hour, the minute, the day, but to behold it. So I was saying to the Father, I just want to stand back. I want to stand back and behold your judgment. Because these people really think that this is their time. They really think they are ruling. They think they kings, leaders, and rulers. Father, they think they rule, even to the point where they rule over you. He said, but they are a people that always wanted an idol God, Deborah. And their idol God could be a man. It can be a beast. It can be stone. It can be wood. It don't matter. Their mentality is, I need somebody I can worship and serve. I can look at as something higher than who I am. And the Father sitting here saying, well, y'all just don't understand. Who can be higher than him? You see? But the stupidity of their mindset that a man can offer them something. I know it. A man can offer you this. But if you look at the picture real close, this man is not offering you the Most High Yah. This man is not leading you to the Most High Yah. He's leading you every to and fro. And I'm not just talking about one man. I'm talking about all these places that they got here called themselves. Even these women on this line with their husband. Even these women that's on here with someone else. And these men that's on these devil platforms. Let me tell you something. Until they ate, and no, I ain't getting no tears. He said, don't even say that. These people have reject spirit and truth. They have reject righteous. They have reject the light. Because if they had not, they'd be teaching spirit and truth. They'd be teaching the light. Spirit and truth is the Ruach. He tells you things. He teaches you things. He show you things to come. He takes you into the words and he lay his word. You see? He gives you things to run on. You see what I'm saying? He shows brightly light of darkness that people been doing for so long. Because you all, let me tell y'all something. I really believe that women's job was the most powerful position on the earth. I really did. Until the Father told me. Just because they didn't take the position wasn't, I can't tell you, Deborah, that it was not. It was. See, Sister Deborah was thinking, okay, we had these babies, we end up with them, and we take care of them, we breastfeed them, we bring them up, we send them to school, and these men go on about their lonesome own way. So the Father told me, no, Deborah, just because they went their way, don't mean that I didn't have their way they supposed to go from the kingdom. He said, I was on the throne when I created man on the earth. I was on the throne. I was using my right hand and my stretched out arm, Deborah, to create him. I gave him a spirit, which is my image, when I blew the breath of life in him. He was alone, Deborah. He wasn't with woman. Woman wasn't with him. And then he had told me about the rib, Deborah. This is where the ignorance is at. It's no rib that can create a woman. So no woman was not created by that rib. That's the ignorance in which we as people want to believe the lie than to believe the truth. The truth of the matter is a rib cannot make a baby and can't bring forth life. You gonna tell me he gonna walk or take his rib out, walk around with it, and make a her? Stupid. She has to have what Genesis 1 and 26, 27, 28 have. What was that? My image, my likeness, and my breath. And a bone from Adam can't give you that. So that lets you know she was still created in his image, his likeness, with his breath was she created. The bone represent the side of him you all should work side by side. Oh, they ain't gonna teach that. Because what it would do, it would show all these thousands of years when men had led to the point where they had put woman totally under the bottom of their feet. And the reason why they did that is because they knew. They knew. The Roman Catholic knew too. That in Genesis 1, chapter 26, 27, 28, he was telling you them. Them. And when he made him, understand this, watch this here. Him was created to bring all living onto the earth. That's why he has the powerful position. Woman didn't have him in her womb. Woman, you didn't have him. Man had him. Woman, you did not have him. Man had him. Woman, you did not have him. Man had him. All living comes out of the man. That's why he says we are worse than our forefathers. And because of your forefathers, this is why you're cursed. I will visit the sin of the father 3 to 4 generations. Why is all this about the father? Because Deborah, everybody that was created came out of the womb of a man. So, can everybody be bad and he be good? Everybody's unrighteous, but he upright? Impossible. Impossible. So that's why he told a man, in your household is your enemy, is in your foe. He said foe, which is your enemy in your household. His household is speaking of his womb that he brought forth, his children, and made a household. Now he has a wife, him, and his children. But that's a lie. Now, not the Bible. How can that be, Yeshua, if he ain't been there with those children? He said, but you can cover it, Deborah. It's in there, and the Ruach will show you. And it did show me how the women would end up having to take care of the children twice. He knew all the time. The throne, y'all, the throne where the Most High Yah reside, knew all the time that man would throw down his crown on the ground before Eve was even created, and his baton on the ground before woman was created. And this is another reason why he said it is not good that he be alone. He saw something that wasn't good. Because my question to him was, it's not good once you put him in the garden. What's going on? What's going on? You put him there. Nobody else did, and you did. See, that's the sort of thing I say when I'm in the wilderness, when I'm trying to go over the lessons and the things that he's given me and the things he's revealed. I had to close my door, and the things that he was revealing me. I would ask questions like that. You see? So when we running around and we're really thinking this thing rumbles the way we think it goes, and it is, it's not. Mm-mm. And he's not going to allow it to be the way man thought that they was going to rule this thing. See, because just because, see what, and it's a blessing to know this, especially to me, is if I call them from my throne, Deborah, to be a man, okay, they have to understand that I didn't create anything else with them. They didn't have nothing. No one else was created but him. That should tell somebody, that should tell the whole world something. That man, what's your issue? Man, wait a minute. The way this world is because of you. You see? You see? What you mean, Deborah? He was the first one created. There was a reason why. He was created because he was carrying all the living in his womb. All the living was in his womb. So when he runs and he says, woman's this, woman this, and woman did this, and woman did this, the first thing the throne gonna say, and what did you do? Do you know what you were required to do? Do you know your position? Why would they get on a job? Now watch this. Go on a job, fill out a application for a construction job. They call them in for an interview. One thing they're going to tell you, all your duties that's required. Everything that a man has done in life, he's going to always get something that's telling him his duties if it's a job. If it's school, he still what he has to have and what he has to do to pass the class or to graduate or whatever, to complete these courses. Okay. Always having something. So why is it these men walk around trying to justify and clarify that they're kings, leaders, and rulers and don't even know what it's like to be a man? Who called you to be a king? Who called you to be a ruler? Who called you to be a leader of a congregation? You have not led the house he gave you. That's what he called you for. You have not trained your children up in the way that they should go. That's what he called you for. Well, why would you say that, Deborah? Because you had all living in your womb. And you walked away from all living on the earth in your womb. And you smiling today, calling yourself a king, leader, and ruler. Like he says, I've heard them preach this and teach this. Left your first love. You left your first purpose on earth. Ain't no position, purpose, nothing can outweigh the purpose of why you're here on this earth. And that's for woman, and that's for man. Nothing is greater than your purpose here on this earth. Your job, even you being called king, leader, and ruler, nothing is more important than your purpose of why you're here. And if you have escaped knowing that, you are lost with the cause and without one, and you're chasing your own flesh to get your answer to your flesh. The truth of the whole matter, when you go back and realize, wait a minute, when he created me, man, that was just Adam. So you can't go next and create woman later on and then she lead. No. She can't pull up second created in human and lead. No. It's still you were born to lead. Who is he going to lead, Deborah? Why did you say he was born? Because his whole purpose of being created was to have all the living of human beings in his womb. That's why he gave them so many sperms, y'all. Come on now. That's why those sperms are blood, y'all. Come on now. You don't know that, do you? That's why DNA is so important, y'all. You see? Why? Because man is holding all living in his womb. He done left all living to go portray, I'm a king, I'm a leader, and I'm a ruler. Put her under my feet. No, bro. What's the purpose of the rear? And why did he see you and saw that it was not good? Come on now. Because he had to complete what heaven has already orchestrated in the blueprint. And that's to give you a help meet. To meet not your pleasure, not your desire, not your good feeling. No. When did y'all create flesh to please flesh? Come on, y'all. You see the sickness that we have been, and we'll run around and say, oh, the Europeans and the heathens and the Gentiles taught us that. Oh, they did this and they did. These are people that never will own up to who they are. But how can you say who you are when you know not who you are? It's just a matter, it's just a, to me, it's like clowning, just clowning and want somebody to see you. People buy tickets to see a clown act a fool. And that's what you do. Because you ain't doing nothing legit under righteous, under just, or under upright. You ain't teaching nothing righteous, just, nor upright. You ain't teaching spirit and truth. You don't have no light. That's why they run to the world, giving you all the mess about the world, because they don't have nothing in spirit and truth to hand over to you, to give you, so that you can feed on it and have. So they just leave you right where you at and continue to get you to see them to be something they are not. And the problem is also too much is going on. This man and these two guys were talking about, oh, when they doing, these men are doing this in the church. They doing all this and they doing this and they doing this. They complaining about all the stuff men are getting away with in the church, y'all. That's what they complaining. Even among the Hebrew Israelites. They're arguing and fussing at the fact that these men are getting away with a lot of stuff, wicked and evil. And then they start talking about the piano player and the director of music. They gay. And these men are messing with married women, and pastor messing with young daughters, having babies by those sitting in the audience. I mean, in the church pews and all this stuff. Deacon having babies by 2 and 3 different women in the church. What do you expect? How can any good come out of something so wicked and evil? Come on now. Because this is y'all role play. They doing what they've been doing for years, y'all. These men ain't doing nothing no different. Ain't nothing new under the sun. They ain't sitting around here showing you that, hey, we this and we this. Why is it everybody still today, the year 2024, hooping and hollering about what everybody doing, how wicked and evil? Wait a minute, baby. They ain't never changed. It always been that way. Solomon tried to tell y'all. I couldn't imagine why Solomon would want to know what's all under the sun. Because Solomon, I'm here to tell you, I've been here and I'm telling you something, Solomon. You asked for a handful and you got it. Because y'all let you see all the wicked and evil that's under the sun. And that's what all he wanted. He said, let me see all this that's going on under the sun. And when he saw it all to be vax and vexation, which is evil and wicked. It was worthless. While we run around here thinking everything under the sun is, oh, it's this, it's this. No, it's not. Stop lying. Stop lying to others and stop lying to yourself. And when these guys got to talking about what all these men is doing in church, guess what they wind it down to? Oh, it's the women's fault. I'm like, and that's when the father started dealing with me. He said, but Deborah, my judgment is where it's at. My judgment, and it's where it's at. And I said, Father, I would really love to relax it and just see your right hand. Just see your right hand of judgment. I would like to relax. I don't know. And at that moment, I realized I also have the lane that he created for me. And that lane, I must continue to stay in it and run this race in that lane. That means I can't just stop because of what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. You know, even though it's not lining up with what he's teaching me It's against what he's teaching me. And that's where the long suffering and the endurance comes in, because I'm looking at them acting a monkey, and I'm looking over here saying, Father, do you see? Deborah, don't keep asking me, do I see it? The Father told me that so many times. He said, stop asking me, do I see it? I seen it before the foundation of the world. See, they think they're smarter than I am, but they don't understand I am who I say that I am. So when they doing stuff, they thinking that nobody on YouTube know, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Patriot, and all these places, nobody don't know about it. We can keep it, it's all good. We've been doing it for too long to stop now. And the Father said, I got him. I got him. I already got him checked off. And they sitting here thinking and feeling that it's about them and them themselves being able to do all the wicked and evil they can do in the name of using he that sits on the throne and the Son of Man. They don't know which way they going, if they going or if they coming. All they know is I love that they got platforms where I can act the monkey and everybody come go with me. Everybody buy tickets to my zoo. Not to my zoo, to my circus. And I clown for them and they love it. And that's what these platforms are really geared to. People putting stuff on here that has nothing but Satan, abomination, wicked and evil detached to it. You see? And I look at it and I say, well, I'm glad that I see that I'm narrow. I'm in the narrow gate. Because ain't nobody go that way. No, they can't go that way. Deborah, you can't expect them to go that way. Don't you? The narrow gate is what Yah created. When he told me about the two trees, this was when I was a teenager. He told me about the two trees because I asked him. I said, "Well, if you didn't want Satan, I know y'all, I ain't got no sense, but this is what I said to the Father when I was a teenager, a young teenager at that. I said, if you didn't want Satan in that heaven and you keep saying you put him out, why do you think we want him on earth?" That's just how silly I was. Didn't have no sense then. They ain't got none now. But you think I care? Catch me on the other side in spirit and truth. You get messed up from the floor up. So I'm like saying, why would you put them down here if you didn't want them up there? What makes you think we want them down here? And that's when he had to teach me about the two trees in the garden. Everything was done from the kingdom. He knew what he was doing. Everything he's doing is going to work out according to his will. You see, it's going to work out according to his plan. Why man thinking, a woman was created to be on her back and clean up, use a food, and use a food. You strictly a food. Where is that in Genesis chapter 1? That's not saying that. Now, a lot of people don't know that. Not all. I can't say all women, but I know I am. And there are others that I know of as well. That I'm the type of person I like to clean. Okay. I love to clean. I like to take care of people. Okay. And one day I'm going to bring my ex-husband on and let him tell you just his point of view of who I have been. He'll tell you in a minute. Nobody comes, myself, always on the floor level of the ladder. Never do I put myself on top. Oh, no, 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 no. I take care of everybody. I don't worry about myself. I told my kids, whatever happened, don't come looking for me. Don't y'all tell us come looking for me. I'm okay. You better be worried about yourself. Don't come looking for me. Because I know that they will, but don't come looking for me. Don't come looking for me. I'm going to be all right. You see, because I know that time is going to come, you guys. I know it without a doubt. So I'll just let them know they all grown. Don't come looking for me. And even, I think about, and I know I shouldn't tell y'all this, but I think about, I don't think about it. I really don't think about it. I can't help but being able to, I can tell when people are talking about me. Sometimes I feel sad because they be wanting to communicate with me. Okay. And they don't know how or how they can, or if I want to communicate with them. I'm speaking of family members. They really, you know what? With me, I'm so far, I'm that standoffish because the spirit keeps showing me too many things to think it's gonna get better. It's not gonna get better. So don't go out there trying to mend all situations and make it play people's games, because people want you to get around them and wipe away their negativity and their feelings and their emotions of what they're going through. I'm not finna sit around and do that. I'm getting ready. I'm not, baby, you don't know what dark hour we are in. We are not in a time, nor a day, nor an hour, nor a minute, nor a second where it's time to baby you and to make you say something to make you feel good. If I can't say something to you that's going to steer you in the right direction as to the light so you can see the darkness you walking in, kick rocks, keep it running. Because this sister ain't that. I'm not the one. And the reason why I say that is I think about my mother. I think about my sister. I think about my mother and how they desire to communicate with me. But the Father has been dealing with me since I was a young girl, and he told me a way that shall always be, even when I'm dead and gone. And I decided last year, this is it then, huh? He said, yeah, I told you that. You know, it ain't going to change. So you need to stop flipping, turning flips, trying to make things right and trying to make it the way they want it to be. I'm not fin to play no lovey-dovey family, nothing with you. It's no way you can be a close-knit family and all that you're trying to portray to be in the eyes of everybody in the world, that all of it's a lie. I'm not finna get around y'all and play that. I'm not going to. And I keep it going. I don't waste my time. I don't know. Don't come ask me to go to no meeting, because it's my father ain't going to be in the center of it. I ain't coming to your meeting to hear your mouth. Don't ask me to come to dinner. I ain't coming to dinner if he ain't in the center of the table. So eat your own food and not invite me. Don't invite me to nothing, because I ain't coming. See, everybody wants you around in these worldly matters to play this worldly family, lovey-dovey-dovey. No. No. My oldest son told me, I told you at the beginning, my oldest son said, Mama, what's going on? You said you gave us all this food and I appreciate it, but why you don't come over and spend some time with us? We used to do so many families. But see, he's the oldest. He knows that the type of mother that I did, y'all, woo! Y'all said, Deborah, you the best mother in the world. Not just the best mother, you the best wife in the world. You would say that because I always made everything family oriented. I made sure it's, say for instance, with me, it was like, if, say for instance, if my husband had a toothache. Oh no, you got your tooth. I had a toothache. That's how bad I was. If he got a leg pain, I got a leg pain. Why? Because nothing. I didn't allow them to have to experience nothing without me stepping in to make sure that they are taken care of. Oh, you need some. Oh, I think I can barely see out these glasses, and I haven't been able to see that good. Okay, I set us up an appointment. We're going to get some glasses. Sister Deborah just didn't play. Sister Deborah just didn't play, and that's just who I have been all these years. And I sit back and I look back and I said, Father, I was truly a servant. I was serving y'all. I've been serving all my life. All my life, I've been a servant. My oldest brother used to have me to go down. He'd say when he come home from work, he said, if you could fix me some eggs, some pancakes, and some bacon. Hey, I was number 89 years old, but I can throw down, y'all, when it came down to cooking. And the thing he liked more than anything, the way he liked his eggs to look yellow. He don't want them brown or greasy. And he said, you the only one know how to make these eggs. And my brother used to pay me really good money to do that. My oldest brother used to pay me. And one time he came from the military, he said, so you still a slave? That's what he said to me. You know why? The house that we have, 1, 2, three, four, five, six, 7.5 bedrooms. I didn't care. I love cleaning. Go up and down, clean. I loved it. I just something I used to like to do. I used to do that. I like it. That's what I used to do. And I always want to make things right for people. And guess what it was based on? So people can live comfortable where they don't have to be sick or hurting and hungry. And and when y'all see, if I was to show y'all, let me see if I got one in here. I'm gonna try to show it to you so I don't waste it. Like this one here. What is in here is chicken and dumplings, and they got I don't know how many I got. I think I got like 8 of these. I don't know if you all can't see it. Oh, y'all can't see it, can you? Well, this is chicken and dumplings. I don't know. This light is not. Yeah, I can't really see it. But yeah, this is chicken and dumplings, and then I put it in this little container. And then what I do is I put it in the freezer and let it freeze. So when they pick it up tomorrow, everything will be. You should see. If you see my kitchen, you see all this food that was made for them, and they're gonna pick it up. I told him he wanted to play basketball. I said, well, you can just pick them up tomorrow. But I'm forever finding things to do for people. Let me explain something, you guys. When we are created, you're created 3 ways. You are created to be a giver, you are created to be a taker, or you are created to ride in between. Okay? Riding in between is not good because you're still taking. You get what I'm saying? So that's not a good thing. People that takes is people that always want to take and want somebody to do for them, and they want to get as much as they can out of every situation and every little thing, and they won't. It's always me. And me, I'm the opposite. And I wasn't this when I was older. It's since I was even a little girl. I always wanted to do for others. I wanted to be about helping others and doing for others. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. If it was the will of the Father, which I don't think it is, because if it was, he would have, not to say that he can't still do it. I'm that person that know how to step into situation and make things work. I have been like that throughout my whole life. I remember my oldest sister's son. We were all in my mother's kitchen and we was cooking Christmas at that time, Christmas dinner. And I think I had made 7 cakes. And my sister and them, when everybody was there and everybody was in there, and they thought that a bakery had made these cakes. And I sat down in my mother's kitchen and I was doing another cake I made those cakes at home, but it was another cake mom wanted me to put the icing on. And I was sitting down, and my oldest sister's son came in, and he said something to his mother, because I heard my youngest sister say, when are you gonna do my taxes? And my other sister said, I want you to do mine. I said, yep, I got to do mine too. I got 2 other people to do the taxes. And then my nephew, which is my older sister's son, he said, he turned to his mother. He said, Mama, why is it? They call me Booby. He said, why is it Booby know how to do everything? You see what I'm saying? So I have been like that since I was a little girl. Don't mess with me. I would go out here and learn something and learn it to its perfect and walk away from it. I know that's bad. That sounds bad, don't it? Don't that sound bad? Oh, that sounds bad. But I'm going to tell y'all, it ain't nothing that I will not do and will not walk away with from it until I master it. So I was saying to the Father, this was a couple of years ago, if you gave me the land, Father, I would do right by it. And I said, I began to tell him how I would divide it and how I would separate everything and how the living and how the sanctuary where it would be built. I was just talking to the Father, and I was just thinking, And I sit there and I thought about that for what? It was like 3 months, because I was thinking, okay, if the Most High open them doors up, this could actually work, because he knows without a doubt. His right hand been with me all my life. I've always been able to get into situations and just nail it. And Maya, I call her my second mother. She's been knowing me ever since I was a little girl. Miss Almond, she used to stay next door, and she said, Booby, you need to stop getting all these jobs and just get a job that you enjoy. And the reason, want me to tell y'all why she was telling me that? I did. I used to go out, and y'all don't think I'm crazy. I ain't crazy. I used to go out and get the best paying jobs that's out there just to see if I can get it. I know that sounds crazy. It do. It was just testing myself, my ability. That's why I said, you can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. Because it's nothing that I would go out that he does not bless my hands to be successful in. Nothing. Now, if they don't be successful, it's because he said, pull up and pull out. And I said, no, I like this. I like that. I want to do. And okay, it ain't gonna bring you no joy, no peace. And then I have to get out. But every place I go in, I'm always able to. And this is going back to what I was saying, even about what we are born, our purpose, our position, our duties. He tells us about before the foundation of the world, I predestined you, I ordained you, I foreknew you. He's letting you know I was ruling this bad boy before y'all was created. So what are y'all trying to run me for? Trying to tell me? You can't tell my Most High y'all nothing. So the abilities that I have had to be able to do all these things, I know where it come from. You think I just jumped up here being a female and able to do all this? No. And I mean, do a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things. And I've always, as a little girl that I can remember, I don't know how I learned how to braid and do all of that. I was really, really, really good at that. But I learned that as a before I was even a teenager. I was mastering that bad boy. Yes. It's just everything. So I sit back now and I look at all the talent and all the abilities, but Yah will not allow me to really make that way for anyone, because I know that if it was his will, he would allow me to do it. But I sit back and I watch him ban me from doing the things that I know that I can do. But he's banding me. He's like, okay, it's over. It's finished. There's no appreciation. It's not gonna be anything. Harsh, wicked, and evil. Don't go further. Don't go trying to conquer it. Don't go. So I'm more so like set back. And when my son asked me yesterday, and I felt sad for him. As a mother, I felt sad because I knew what I was to him all those years. He's not used to me, just off to myself and them not being a family, a knitted family. So I'm going to try to see what I can do to kind of just step in. But you know what I'm going to do, you guys? I'm going to make sure that if you all want me to bring us back like we once used to, we're going to have to put the Most High in the midst. We're going to have to put him in the midst. We're going to have to. And when I say put him in the midst, it ain't like my young oldest son. Oh, he's a Bible reader. He can break that thing down. I mean, the Ruach in him that will break these things down. He's the one I was showing y'all the cards that he bought. But yet, I don't, it's just something about where we at in life. I don't feel the need to really get amongst family, even my children, and portray a lovey-dovey. I don't know how understand that, a lovey-dovey, because I feel if everybody that harsh against my father, meaning no one is turning their faces his way and seeking him for direction and where we're at today. So I'm like, hey, you got to be about something. instead of just being about what the world is talking about and what the world is doing, and you enjoying all the things of the world. And give me some suggestions in the chat. How can what can I? And a lot of you all probably say, "Well, now, Deborah, I'm with you." I'm with you. I don't think I want to, bring anything, back to something that it is. And it's not like it's harsh feelings and anything, because all of us, we were together. And I think that's what he was really concerned about, because he saw us in one unity, me and all of my children. We went to watch a movie, and we were all went to watch a movie, in Quiet Storm. Got us, had purchased all the tickets for us to go watch the movie Civil War. And we went, and we all was sit together, and we watched the movie, and we got in after it's over. We all, stood around and talked about what we like and so on. So I think the oldest son, he remembers more, because he remembered, hey, my mama used to be in there. We used to do all kind of fun things. And I did, but look, and it's not like I can't now. Don't get me wrong. It's not like Sister Deborah can't now. It's just that where I'm at in the spirit realm, I see us, it's over. It's finished, to the point where you don't want to be in among people and you got to portray a role of the world. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I just figure I stay to myself and do me. And doing me is just either seeking Yah, hearing God. You know what? It used to be a time where I would just read. I don't have to do that no more. You know why? Only time I go back into the book is when I'm going to speak on something, because the Ruach, he's greater in me, and he constantly communicating with me from the inside. Like I was telling you, I was in here washing dishes, and I was, saying, well, what's the deal? What is this here called? Why? How did that come? He said it's a demonic spirit, but he says it's not something he didn't know about. He said the Father said it ain't that I didn't know about it. It ain't that I didn't know that they was going to continue this. He said it was back in the days. See, I didn't know that. He said, oh no, it was back in the days. You ain't gonna hear nobody talk about it, but all you do is go back and see where the women were back then. They're not where Yah ordered them to be, but they were somewhere man desire that they be, outside of finding out where he need to be, so he can get in his right place, and then let her get in her right place. And then you all are what? Equal, yoked in spirit and in truth. But because he took on the role and ran with it, his role, as the world would tell him his role is, in the way that he see his role. But he said they didn't see their role from the throne, because see, the throne orchestrated it all. That's why he said, I am that I am. So that means you can say what you want to say. I am who I say that I am. How about that? How about that? So he, in a sense, he's also letting you know that the power comes from the throne, where he is. He is the power. So no one wants to seek that to really get the fullness of where we should be, and where we should have been, or where we are today. No. They got to run to the platforms and hear it out of these men's mouth, because they have deceived them to believe that only a man can speak it to you and tell you exactly A to Z. The Father said he lost his position in A. So how he gonna be able to tell you A to Z? He don't even know what he was created for. And you know what? Like I said, many a times I always thought a woman's job is the biggest job. And to hear the Father tell me, no, a man's job is. And once you fully understand it, you'll say, oh man, they had a job. Wow, they had a job. And to just know their job, had they took on the position and fulfilled it, like they go on these jobs and do. They hire you work, and you do what they ask you to do. When Yah created you from his throne, are you doing what he told you to do? No. Wait a minute, hold up. I created you, and in you was living. Living was in you. I say living as far as every entity that comes in the form of the flesh is in a man. Why ain't y'all meditating on that? Why ain't y'all learning that? Why ain't y'all awakened to that? You see, those are the things they need to be awakened to. You would think it's too late now, but you would think that they would awaken to, instead of all this other nonsense in which they feel that's more important to their flesh. It's more important that I do this in my flesh and I do it this way and that way, versus what about what you were positioned from the kingdom, from the throne? I created you this. You all over the place, and then have the audacity to say you represent me. How can you represent me and you don't even know who and your purpose of coming down on the earth, period? And that's what made their position more powerful, because they had you in them. See, you were in him. You weren't in yourself. You was in him. You see, this is why his position is more powerful. And because they did, instead of training their children up in the way of righteous, instead they took on. Now, this is the wrong part of it. And I'm gonna say this, and y'all might not understand it. This is the wrong part of it. Instead, I look at it and I see back in the biblical time, they were doing stuff to whomever female, even their own. Maybe they felt, since it came from me, I can do what I want. That's just Sister. I ain't saying that's true, y'all. That's what I see when I see a lot of these men and these women talking about how they were done by their grandfather, their uncle, their father friend, their father's brother. Their father's son on from another mother, and all this here done when they was 3, 2, 4, 5. And I'm like saying, maybe they felt that, hey, you come from me, so I can do whatever. When I do it to you, I'm doing it to me. You know, I know that sounds crazy. That might not be the case, but when you look at it, they don't understand that that's actually what you're doing. So when you pulled up in Leviticus 18, I'm like, why isn't it they don't sit down and see the prophet telling them in Leviticus 18 to leave all these females alone? What part of that they don't get? Why is it they don't get nothing that's said in Leviticus 18 and 19? Why they don't get that? Because it has something to do with men. Now, one of you all would even approach these people with Leviticus 18 and 19 and say, wait a minute, this is what they're doing. But nobody wants to. And this is what these men were saying. Nobody wants to confront, but you ain't confronting them either. So what are you talking about? See, that's what I'm saying. They will not confront these wicked and evil, adulterous, molesting, abomination men for nothing. But y'all said, hold up, back that thing up and back it down. He got you on this side. He ain't talking on the other side. He got you on this side. That's what his judgment was set for. Because all the ones that thought that they got away with messing with those things, he told them not to. And all those women and these young boys who were molested and women were molested, the Father gonna rack up in this judgment. Oh, it's gonna show up and show out in all type of forms. A lot of people are going to see things happening and they're gonna be off the chain and they're gonna be like, but why is this happening to my family? You don't understand. The one position was man. This been going on since the beginning of time, he said. And they never took their righteous position. It was for them to bring forth the living so I can give them life, Deborah. That's what that was about. And when they brought forth, I gave them life. But for them, before I can give them life, woman have to be the middle part where she carried them 9 months, offer her, breastfeed them or bring them forth, go through the pain and so on, forth, so that Yah can bring life to these children. You see what I'm saying? Because the Father, it starts off with the Father. He the one got the life. in him. He has the living in him. Then the living transferred to the woman, and she takes on the living, feed it, nourish it, and let it live off of her breath. You get it? Off of her heart, off of her. And then she brings forth, then y'all take them from here by giving them the breath of life that comes with his image, which is a spirit. You see? So when he saw man in the garden alone, not only did he was uneased with the fact that he saw him there where he knew he placed him himself, nobody else placed him there, but he said it's not good that he be alone. He's going to give him a help meet. They never understand what the help meet to meet what? What is the help meet is going to do? It's going to meet my will, because I'm going to give it breath and spirit, the breath of life. See, the breath of life can't come to the earth, you guys. The breath of life can't come to the earth. The breath of life has to go through a body, a fleshly body. So you see how he did it? So that's why a lot of people run and say woman was created for man and not man. Baby, woman wasn't created for man in that way. Y'all made it. Y'all painted that picture so pretty. All the way from the beginning of Torah, all the way down. Y'all made that picture so pretty to where you made sure you put her totally out of the order than where he created her to be in Genesis chapter 1, 26, 27, 28. That's how far off balance from the throne man has turned things. So because of that, this is what you see in earth today. This is what you see, because that's how he prophesied it in the end. See, you run around here thinking he don't hold the beginning and the end, and he does. And as you go through each and every, I think Solomon even said about in the end days, Daniel, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Jeremiah, even Moses spoke of, all of them always spoke of the end days. They all got something to say about the end days. That's the days we're in as well, y'all. Why? Because the end days reflects the beginning. It bounces off what went wrong in the beginning. And that's what we thinking. We think we know so much, know that. Because he told me, he said, Deborah, they want to make today so much better than yesterday. They don't understand. Today is a product of yesterday. But yesterday was hidden. That which is in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. So something was hidden in the dark. Wicked and evil at its highest, in the way that they deceive you in the beginning. So a lot of you all think it's about what took place in the end. The end is actually happening to us because of what took place in the beginning. Do anybody understand that? When people start to tell you that, oh, today is this and this and this, oh, they was horrible back then. I mean, they say yesterday was way better than today. Yesterday was this, yesterday was that. The Father want me to tell you that's a lie that's been going on since the beginning of time. He wants you to know today is a product of yesterday that was hidden in the dark. So that which is in that dark of yesterday shall come to the light in the last days. So in the last days, you're seeing it as for what it was all the time. That's another reason why this sister being taught by the Ruach from the wilderness don't take on to Torah like these nutballs take on to Torah and try to make you live out Torah. Because what the Father told me, and the reason why he shared that with me is I was having an issue because I had all these small children. And at that time, I think I was homeschooling 3 of them. And I heard these women that we meet up on every Wednesday, and we always talk at this grocery store. We always talking. And I keep hearing these, they were older than I was. They used to talk about, oh, my son went to school and he got his degree. And this lady said, my son did too. I'm so dead. Boy, these kids today is horrible. They'll never make it to where our kids. And I got home and I started crying. I said to the Father, Father, what make them think that their children is going to remain where they say they are today. And that's when he shared with me. He said, Deborah, I want you to always remember this. He said, yesterday, Deborah, yesterday is worse than today. Why? Because yesterday was hidden. The things yesterday was hidden. Today is clearly seen. It's all in the open. It's in the light. That's why it says that which is in the dark shall come to light in the last days. He said, what they're telling you is their son got this right now. They don't know what they're going to have tomorrow. Right now, he got something good. But tomorrow will show up what he got good really wasn't good because what he was doing. When tomorrow comes, it's going to show the light. So he was explaining to me, don't ever get caught up in conversation where people making you think that yesterday was the good time and today is the bad. He said, no, they still don't understand. Yesterday was the bad time that was hidden. Today, now, is bringing it to light. The things that were hidden. That's why knowledge was going to increase. And it's not the natural knowledge of the world. It's spiritual knowledge of things that you never knew. So see there? No preacher, no bishop, no seer, no watchman, no pastor, no priest. No one can give you this outside of the spirit of the Ruach that would show you that yesterday was darkened and it was always dark. And today coming to bring the light to shine on the darkness of yesterday. One of them, I can tell you one of them is this. When you study in the book by the Ruach, he will show you things in there that does not match his bosom. Oh, yes, he'll show it to you just big. Now, you know that ain't me. That ain't me. And then he'll break it down to you, letting you know this is why. I had no idea that the Roman Catholic been in this book until 5 years ago. You see? But the Ruach set that time for me to know that this is what they did. And when I'm teaching you in the wilderness, that's my whole purpose, is to teach you right, to show you what is not of me in this book. And it's basically of him. He's not here to tell you, well, okay, this. He wants you to see what is not of him. That's more important to him than anything. I want you to see me not in that book. I want you to see what's not of me in that book. My signature is in the book, but that's a lot of it. It's not me. And through the Ruach, it will be revealed to you what is him and what is not. Just as clear can be. And why? Because he's gonna break it in and break it out to where you see, oh man, the way he explained it, you can't help but see the light in the darkness that the Roman Catholic has smeared. So I think that is the best way to be taught is by the Holy Spirit. And I would not tell anybody that a man alive on this earth can teach you better than the Ruach, which is the Holy Spirit. And if we turn to the Holy Spirit and do away with the Ruach and think that the Holy Spirit, we are born of the flesh, and the flesh shall see its maker. Oh, yes, you are born of the flesh. If you think man can, on this earth or a woman can teach you better than the Ruach, and 99.9 think that. That's why he made his eternal destiny through the gate narrow and said, very few shall find it. Why? Because they say one thing and they speak one thing and they'll do one thing, but where their heart is where he measured. And see, that's what a lot of them don't understand. Your spiritual heart is measuring in the eyes of Yah to be wicked. Why you thinking, oh, I know I'm going his route way. He's his way. I'm doing this. But see, y'all don't understand. He's measuring the spiritual heart, the part of you that everybody rejects. Everybody, nobody wants to see that you have a natural heart, you have a spiritual heart. Okay? No one believes that. They just think it's just their heart. And this is what make people continue to believe what they want to believe and not believe anything beyond what the spirit of the Ruach can teach them. So he don't waste his time. That's one thing I notice about him. The Most High don't waste his time. The Most High don't waste his time with nobody. He don't even waste his time. He let people go and believe what they want to believe, think what they want to think, feel the way they want to feel, because he already know what's invested in them. He already know. So anybody in the live chat, oh, I wanted to share this with you all. The reason why I had to share that with you all is because it came to my spirit twice. And then I didn't know what and how to really bring it forth. But it came to me. I don't know if you all know it. They should have about 10,000 of them together now. It's where you got the science, you got the those who embalm bodies, doctors. They're coming together. They was already formed. It was like 5,000 during the pandemic, but it should be about 10,000. It might be more. They decided to come together and get some understanding of all of this. And me just listening to those who are embalming the people. They're having problems trying to embalm individuals. And they doing the history and finding out that it's the people that has taken the this you know what I'm talking about. So what is happening is they're trying to understand if you and I, watch this here, you and I have veins. So if, let's use me, if I pass away, uh, the morgue would come pick me up, and first thing they want to do is shoot fluid to rinse me out and to drain the blood, and then they shoot embalming fluid. Okay, when they're having problems, they are having a lot of problems, and it didn't start today, y'all. It's been having problems, and they was afraid to say something, but now they are connecting themselves with those certain science and doctors that already started way back during the pandemic, starting because they wanted to get to the core of this whole situation. And what they did is they 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 took on the medicine. They did get they have been able to take the medicine that they shoot in here, and they found out that there is another DNA. Another DNA is mixed with that, and they've been discovered that. So they saying that it has some sort of DNA in it. So what I've learned in the last 6 months was a lot of people are being cremated. A lot of people are being cremated, or a lot of people, when they are disappointed when they go to the morgue and their parents is not, or their children or whoever, their loved ones are not embalmed properly, or they don't look the same, and that's because they're trying. They trying to embalm them, but the veins is where they transfer the embalming fluid. First and foremost, is through the veins, just like they flush the blood out. They bring into the body embalming fluid, but what is happening is it can't get through. It can't get through. Can't get through the body. The embalming fluid won't go through. Why? There's another entity in there. So what they decided to do is to do their study. And it's like all over the country, not just United States, everywhere. All of them. They pulling up. They already joined together. It ain't gonna help them joining together. It ain't gonna help because this thing is gonna go into a one world system. It ain't gonna matter. And y'all, I know y'all don't know this, but they are trying to understand. No, they ain't gonna try. Let me stop. I'm trying to say it. They already in full understanding, and I think they understand. And I think I can hear behind hearing. And because of that, I got a ear for, let's say it like that. And I believe that they can't seem to embalm the people, those who have gotten once they die. I'm talking about if someone died yesterday that had it, they having a hard time embalming a lot of them, because they have gotten 2 and 3 of these into their bodies. And what is happening? This is where you know that it's another DNA for real. Something, but you got to understand where it's coming from. Is when they go into the body and start looking at it like a MRI, trying to figure out why is my embalming fluid is not going through to embalm this person. Guess what they find? It's a sight to see. They say that it's not blood clots, and blood clots are dark and they look bloodish. These here, they're found in their organs, in their brain, in their legs, you see, in their thighs, as if there's another entity that's formed itself, you guys. And I know you're not going to hear very many people talking about it, but these are the sort of stuff I have to stay at the throne with, because the way the Father is pulling up in Revelation and things that he's talking about, pulling up with, let me tell you something, he letting everything that they're doing, because he's given them that day to do these things. So they just went all the way. And I believe I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie where Will Smith had that alien, and I forgot the name of that movie, but he was dealing with these aliens, and they had him down in the middle of the desert, down in a bunk, down in the bottom. And I believe they have gotten a hold of, out of space or from somewhere, and they have drained what was in them and multiplied it. I think they found a way that they can multiply it, and that is what is being that other DNA. Now, the doctors, the professional doctors, and this is another thing I can't understand. Why is it everybody can talk on on YouTube's platform except for melanated people? They let them doctors talk, they let them scientists talk, they let them spill all the dirt. But when it comes to us, they want to really stricken and keep a close watch on us. You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to take a picture so I can show you tomorrow what it looks like. And when you see it, then you're going to understand that, wait a minute, how's that thing? What they're saying is these things are growing inside the people's body. Yes, it is. And people are having all kind of heart strokes, dying from all kind of things. But when they go in there and see all these things stopping their organs up, and it shouldn't be there, and they trying to figure out why ain't nobody doing something about it. They found out, and they ain't found out. It's all on television. It's all. That's why the Father said, "Ain't nothing hidden. Everything plainly seen." But I think people be, that was the Independence Day. That's it. a lot of people be so in tune, like I tell my ex-husband, y'all so in tune with the things of the world and things that don't matter to the things that should matter. No one is in tune with. Now, my older sister say, one of my older sisters say, she said, I came out, my legs, I couldn't use my legs. They just went out on me. And I wanted to tell her, but I didn't have enough information. And she said the doctor said they couldn't find out why. They don't know why this was happening. They was just dumbfounded. You know why? Because doctors is practicing medicine. They don't know. These guys then went together and put all the pieces together. They finished. They know what it is. And I'm sitting here listening to them, and I'm sitting here listening. I said, yeah, but see, y'all ain't telling them what it is, but I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. That's what I think they mixed along with uh, learning how to make more of it. And I think that's what is happening. I also think it's going to play it is playing a role now, but it's going to be greater in a lot of this stuff that you see people are doing. You see a lot of the things going on in the Europe among the Europeans, the heathens, and the Gentiles. You see a lot of chaos going on like never. And this is what I was explaining to my family, my children, them. Anytime you walk into a restaurant or you walk into a facility and you see their windows dirty, their floors dirty, or their front glass doors nasty and smeared, to me, to you all, it's just like, okay, we just going in here to eat anyway. But to me, my ideal of when I see it, I don't have to look at it no more and say, oh, this, they didn't do that. Or, I know that this country is not owned by this country. This country is owned, I believe, by China. I think so. I think the debt that they didn't pay China back what gave China the title to this country. I'm just using the word title. Yes, I believe that's what I think. I worked as a chef in food service for many years, and all the restaurants, not some of them, all of them are filthy and nasty. Oh no, you wouldn't pass your inspection with what you see today. But if somebody else owned these places and the people in this country don't own it, then therefore they're not monitoring their facilities because they're paying management to take over and to do. And management is not going to make sure that the sanitation and the building is sanitized and clean. A lot of us are going out to eat and we really thinking we eating something good. Oh, I'm sitting down eating. I'm eating at a restaurant. I'm eating this and I'm eating that. And you don't even about know what you eating. You really don't know what you eating. You really don't. And I got another thing I like to speak on. It was a European guy. He was doing he was talking to all European people, and he was explaining it to them about who they were. Now, I learned this, I think I was in the 6th grade. I got a book. I got a book out of the school library, and it was saying it, and I didn't even believe it. I didn't even think that exists. My dad said, I showed it to my dad. He said, oh, my dad said a cussing word. He said, oh, they just, so and so, so and so. Because I wanted him to look at this book that I got out the library. And this book was telling me exactly what this man was teaching the people. And a lot of us, not a lot of us, a lot of us, we would want to hear from the Europeans that we are the true Jews or we are the children of Israel. Let me tell you something. Weak-minded, spiritual wickedness would sit around and want to give glory to individuals who are identifying who we are. Like they just told us something. Wait a minute. It's just sickening to see people magnify people because they say that we are the people or we are the children of Israel or we are the true Jews. as if they don't know. Now, this is what happened. This man was talking about uh, white people in Europe. And this is why, now this is what I learned in that book. I know he's telling the truth. He's telling the truth because I learned this in the book. It was just too hard to believe it. But the way he broke it down also made me think about what I've been thinking about in the last 3 years. Europeans used to be slaves. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. I learned it in the 6th grade in this book. I read this book. And the books are supposed to be a true story, so I don't know. But I do know it was true. And I was trying to get my dad to look at it. He looked at a few pages of it. And he said, "You think this true?" I said, "Yeah, I think it's true." He said, "Oh, they full of so. But what has happened is they were slaves. They were slaves first. Okay. Who made them slaves? Who made them slaves? The elites. The elites used them as slaves. The only reason why they got out of being slaves was when they explained that, when they found out that they're not found out, when they decide to take on the slaves were us, to bring us over to the four corners. They explained to these Europeans that you no longer would be needed to be a slave if you do this. And this is how white people end up being over black people. They were slaves like we were slaves. They were slaves first, y'all. We came over. The deal from the elite was that if you can keep these people and use these people to do the work and make sure they stay in control, then we will give you land and you no longer have to be slaves. We give you money to start your business and we will give you land. But you have to make sure these people that's coming over, that they continue to work and that they labor and that they're now the slaves. But the deal is that you have to make sure you keep them in control, in order. It makes a lot of sense because do y'all remember when that movie came out? What is it? One Day of Slave, A Day of Slavery, 1 Day of Slavery, or whatever. You remember those people that was wealthy black people during that time? You remember that? That had exist at one time, just as the elites exist and use Europeans to be their slaves. But how they got from under being Europeans, slaves, were when we came over. And then they made it hard for us because the elites had told them they had to keep us in control, and they had to rule over us and keep us in control. And they gave them land and they gave them income if they're and put them over us to where they can control us. And that's how they got out of being slaves. But they were once slaves. I believe that. I believe that a great deal. And as he was breaking it down, the look on these European face was just shocked. They were not shocked. It was not. It wasn't shocked. Let me correct that. It wasn't that they were shocked. It was like, dang, did we have to tell everybody? You see, they didn't want everybody to know, and they still don't. So a lot of times they tell you to go back to where you come from. They don't. You are the biggest threat to them because the main ideal of the elites putting them allowing them to come out of slavery was because of you coming in to be slaves. And that's how they got out of being slaves. But they were once slaves too. They were once slaves too. Yes, they were. 12 days a slave. That's what it was. 12 years, 12 years a slave. That's the name of it. But they were once slaves as well toward the elites. So it's trying to show you, and you know where else is at? It's in Deuteronomy 28. It's in Deuteronomy 28. It tells you something about they were going to get above you as if they once weren't above you. Do you all remember reading that in Deuteronomy 28? And those that was beneath you or something like will get above you. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. You'll see that in there. That's why, because they used to be slaves and they get above us, and it's in Deuteronomy 28. But this man was speaking on the history, telling the Europeans that y'all used to be slaves. And while y'all hating on them, oh, he was chewing them out. He was chewing them out. And he was telling them how they treated us and how they done us. And we was just as good as they were. It's just that the elites put you all in charge to treat them this sort of way. Now, what did that mean? Europeans in trouble. They in trouble. They in a hot mess. They in some hot mess with the Most High Yah. Oh, they in more trouble than they think. Oh, yes, they in more trouble than they think. This just like a lot of y'all don't understand Africa. Over in Africa, they had different tribes. Africa treated the Israelite like crap. Horrible. Horrible. And some of you all will go over there to Africa and see the place, the holding place that Africa had us in. They said women were all cranked up on each other. They had to use the bathroom and they cycle right on the muddy ground. And they was telling you how many women lost or died in that location. And they put us all women together in one location in a small space. And we all was cranked up. We didn't have nowhere to lay down. We didn't have. Now, see, this was over in Africa. That's what it's them. A lot of you all thinking that these people, because they the same, you would think that they the same complex, whatever, or and they're not melanated. You know, they're not. We are total different. We're total different. Yes, do we have some that still there? Yes, as the Israelites. Yes, there's still some of us there. But you got to understand the first handoff. When we took off running, the first handoff was Africa, you guys. I believe Africa sold us for many of things to the four corners. Was that okay? Yes. It's still going according to the Father's will. But what I don't like is melanated people always getting Africa a way out. And you don't understand. You got to go back over to Africa and follow their history and how they treated you. And nobody would do that. I've seen one guy do it, but he never caught on to the fact that, okay, if they had you on that land and treating you like that, what is that to say to you? Why are you calling that your motherland? Why are you calling them your people? Why are you calling it? Just the ignorance of Judah, especially. I mean, they just don't and refuse to do their own real history. They so busy adding on who's the house of Israel. What difference does it make if they lost with a cause and with a cause and without one? If they don't have the Ruach, which is the Holy Spirit living in them, what difference does it make if they're a Hebrew Israelite or a Hebrew or a true Jew or whatever they are? You can be whatever you are. If you don't have the Ruach in you, which is the Spirit of Yah, you still nothing. You see what I'm saying? So they trying to make it look like, okay, the people over in Africa is the same, and we got people here, and why are you collecting all 12 tribes? And who called you to collect all 12 tribes? 12 tribes ain't collecting you, so why are you collecting them? Because you cuckoo clock. Go back to Deuteronomy 28. He said, until you are destroyed, you ain't coming out of this land. Until you what? Are destroyed. So now the judgment is going to hit every place it needs to, just to show you that he going to uphold Deuteronomy 28 endgame. Because a lot of you all have took it and lied and deceived the mass just so you can have your great followers and people to like and subscribe and praise you and uplift you like you done really told them something outside of a lie. So this European was talking about where the slave for the Europeans were. And if you go back to Deuteronomy, it tells you that as well. Deuteronomy 28, he said they would be pretty much below you in a sense, but they're going to gain and be above you because they use them to put us in captivity, not to put us, to treat us the way that they treated us. The elites used the Europeans to do that. Now they're in trouble. All of them, not some of them, all of them. When I say all of them, I don't mean 100, because y'all also have his that are coming in, has been grafted in. So he do have his. He for sure, no doubt. He have his, but they're in trouble. So while they walking around here in this United Snakes today, thinking, oh, when y'all blaming us, we didn't do it, our father, it don't matter. A lot of you all don't even understand. These people already knew your history. You run around here excited because one calling you the true Jew. Use a fool. Use a fool. Because it don't mean nothing because they're calling you the true Jew. What it hasn't changed their attitude toward you. It don't treat you no different. They tell you the true Jews and run around here and still show racist and prejudice and treat you like trash. But just because they open their mouth and said you was a true Jew, that's something for you to expound on. You sick. You sick. Because it ain't going to change the way they treat you and the way they do you. Because they're calling you the true Jews. You just a true fool. Thinking that you somebody because somebody calling you the true Jew. It ain't going to change the situation. And we wanted to go somewhere today. And I was like, and I did. I asked the Father, is it good or what? I normally wouldn't even ask him. I go wherever I want to go. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm not playing with this thing, y'all. Y'all go on and play this thing if you want to. This thing is real. It's out here. It's real. The vibration of, when I say the vibration, I'm talking about their spirit is not the same, y'all. Their spirit is just, it's the same, but it's showing who it is. And that's where people's mindset is today, just showing themselves who they really are and the things that's actually happening. And that's another thing I was saying to the Father. I was saying, Father, it is so much on, but why is the people turning a deaf ear and a blind eye? He said, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What I got prepared and I'm doing, all of them gonna see. Since they want to act like ain't nothing going on, I'm gonna give them something to look at. Because see, his judgment got to hit this ground on the house, y'all. It got to hit this ground. It must hit the ground. It even match him coming to the house first matched Deuteronomy 28 end game to the T. It matches it to the T. The end game, his judgment, it matches it to the T. Why? Because he saw in the 400 years before the foundation of the world. He already saw the 400 years they're going to lollygass. They're going to walk around here and put themselves on pedestals. They're going to serve like they are God. They're going to play this idol God. They're going to do this and they're going to do this. He says, Deborah, they're going to do this. I saw this from the kingdom. That's why I am that I am. And they are who they are. Because I am who I am. And that's what they're going to see. Is a lot of things that they thought they got away with and they getting away with. A lot, it's just too much. And I know I need to stop whining. I need to stop running to the throne of the yard whining, because I know that he got this 100. Because I constantly keep hearing all the darkness of yesterday while people running around here trying to make one wrong so they can continue to live in their sin and wicked, in their abomination and their wickedness. So they'll make one wrong so they can continue. Oh, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. He got something for you. Oh, yes. Yes. And I think it's time. I think it's time. He don't do things on my time, but I think it's time. I think it's time that we all, I see it at a distance, as when I say at a distance from what he done shown me. And what I'm looking at, I'm like saying, okay, but Father, these people ain't, they don't fear you. They don't care about what you got going on, your judgment. They don't care about nothing. I can see that. I'm living here. I'm down here. No one has the fear of his judgment. They walking around here. So what? And they making wrong right and right wrong. And they content with people doing wrong. They content living in the wrong that people are doing. And nobody's like these two guys. They was on here today, earlier today, and they was talking about, why isn't nobody talking about what these pastors and these leaders are doing? Why ain't nobody addressing them? Why ain't nobody speaking out? Why? And he used it First Corinthians chapter 5, and I think it was verse 1 through something. But he was talking about how Paul addressed the church about the same trash that's going on now. He said Paul was addressing the church regarding it. I said, that ain't so. That shows you how many thousand years it's going on, bro. So what are you talking about? Address that thing then. Address that thing. Get your butt off of YouTube if you ain't gonna address the thing right. Since you know what's going on, address that bad boy. They ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. Hypocrites. They people who wants to be looked at as kings, leaders, and rulers with this hypocrite mindset. I talk this way, but I walk this way. I walk this way and I talk this way. You see, that's how they doing it. So you can just they can get the likes, the subscribers, and get the attention that they like drawn on them. So when the judgment hits your house, then where's your attention then? What's going to pull up then? You see, anytime someone praise the idea that a young woman, and listen to this, a young woman has been murdered and chopped up in pieces and her body placed in different areas. Let me explain that to y'all. I don't know if y'all ever read the book of Judge, when the man's concubine, what did he do? He the one put her out there for them to do what they want to him. I don't know why he wasn't expecting them to kill her, but they killed her. He put him on his whatever he had to leave to go back to his town. He went back to his town. He cut her up in many pieces and sent her pieces to each tribe. They cut up, y'all. Go back and read that. It'll blow your mind what the house of Israel did. They all cut up because this was the Benjamin house was a homosexual tribe. There was a lot of them was homosexual and they was wanting men. And they all went after Benjamin house to war. This is Israel. See, y'all think y'all run around here with your mouth wide open thinking you know who Israel is and you know who the true Jews is. You need to find out who you are. Just like I say about men, find out that you's a man from creation. He created you from his throne to be a man. You don't need a man to tell you a man. You was born a man. You're going to die a man. So, and in Yah, you're going to be a man. So it doesn't make any sense for people to tag in and agree because you looking for a man to tell you a man. Ain't no such thing as you a ruler, you a king, and you a leader. Baby, you was created to lead because he trusted all living in you. Which one did you lead? Which one did you lead to righteousness? Which one? Not one. Not one. Not one. So you out of order with the position you was called from the throne. You were hired by the Most High Yah as a man. And he gave you a position. It ain't something you can just get on this earth and say, well, that's one thing y'all don't even understand. These guys, they can go on and put their dresses on and try to be a female all they want to. You can do that all you want, especially this tribe of Judah. And this is what the men are running for, too. Men wanted to be women. World on the line that a man is a woman. And how are they getting away with it? Anybody in the live chat? How is it they getting away with it? Bet you nan one of you can tell me. Nan one of you can tell me. How are they getting away with that? Portraying to be a female. How are the men of Judah getting away with it? I bet you nan one of you can tell me. How are they getting away with it? Let me go on and say it. I thought you couldn't. I didn't think you know. They getting away with it because men are buying into it. This is why the men of Judah, 80%, probably more than that, but I'm going to go and say for sure, 80% of the tribe of Judah men are portraying the role as a female. How could they get away with it if it wasn't other men that they played a role with? That's where you know men are out of their position. They've been that all a long time ago. But they're running around trying to make the hate level toward woman so bad to where they can still live in their sin. All of them doing it, y'all. They all doing it. Some of them are in the closet, under the bed, meaning married and still doing it. Y'all said that judgment is already there, Deborah. Just like you see it from the earth, don't forget, I am that I am. I see it from heaven. All this old stuff that they are doing with this polygamy and adulteress and these young girls and all that. Y'all, let me tell you something. They doing what the world is doing. Yes. And they got you bent up and bent down thinking that it's something righteous. Why didn't you take your righteous place from the throne when he created you? He created you first, so make sure you understood. When he created them animals, he didn't give them to Eve. Eve wasn't even created. He handed them to you. When he created the garden and added the tree of life and the tree of good and evil, he didn't put Eve down there. He put you. You had a position before Eve was even created. And that was to lead and to be a man. What was so hard about that? What's hard about that? But you couldn't. You couldn't. And that's why they use every other thing in this biblical, like I said biblical, I said instructions and direction book, because they think it support them being able to be who they want to be. How are you going to be supported when that judgment is out? It's out, y'all. What's going to support you then? Everything in the closet and out of the closet, the judgment is out. Everything in the closet and out of the closet, the judgment is out. This number of this, when you see men on YouTube praising the fact that this young lady got chopped up by this European man, and you're saying and you're praising that, and they have praises and they glorifying the fact that happened to her. This is where y'all are at. You're lost with a cause and without, because that's not nothing that has to do with the Creator. When men come to that level, they so ignorant, they didn't know that that same girl came out of a man's womb. You see how ignorant they are? They so ignorant. They didn't never know that why he said, I will visit the iniquity of the fathers on the children. Why? Because Deborah, I made him first. And I put all living in him. He too stupid and too ignorant to realize it. And I said to the Father, but Father, it's 2024. He said, well, that should tell you something. Oh, come on now, y'all. 2024. Come on now. What I'm saying is this. I'm having to fit with the Most High Yah. Because I'm like saying, Father, that's a mighty long time. He said, well, what do you think I'm doing? And how do you think I feel for my name's sake? How do you think I feel for my name's sake? My name's sake, I put their names under here. But everybody that say they are, they ain't. Because they not of me. They are of the father Satan. Because every living I put in them, but they didn't check out what Yeshua said. He poured up and let them know. Men, in your womb is your greatest enemy. Why? Because you're going to have seeds of the serpent in your womb, men, and seeds of the spirit in your womb. And you're going to bring forth those seeds into a woman. And she's going to birth them and use her breath, her life to live for the child to live on until it's time for her to birth. And then y'all take them for here, giving them a day in and a day out. How about that? Y'all didn't know. See, y'all didn't check that out, did you? When a woman birthed that child, then y'all pull up. Wait a minute now. I'm gonna give you my breath, and I'm gonna give you my image. Give you a spirit like unto me, my image. But I'm also gonna give you a day in and a day out. See, this is showing you the power of he that sits on the throne. That man has the living, women carries it, bring it forth. Y'all take it from here, whether it's life or death. He take it from here. You see, you don't rule nothing. You don't run nothing. But you're running around here, not even taking your position in which you were created to be. Women, he seen you. He seen you pick up that baton that man dropped and left. And you felt that, hey, you know, I'm going to take on this because this my baby, this mine. You got what you got coming. Because now you see, you got him all over again. Just as it is written and warned. You don't have yourself. You have him all over again. His daddy, his brothers, him all over again. Since it's yours. Since it's yours. You can train them. You can teach them. You can do whatever. They come up as long as they are able to obey your law. But after them homos and them hormones and them who they are come out at 12 and 13, you can hang it up, sister. Daddy's on the scene. And that's a lot of stuff that many of you all never understood. It's because you hypocrites. You don't learn the Father first and foremost. That's all he asked us to do. Seek ye me, and I can school y'all on that stuff. Seek me first, and I can school you. I can let you know this to this. I'll let you know A to Z. Just put me first. What you don't know won't hurt you, but once you let me, once you connect to me, I'm gonna school you. I'm going to give you what you need to know. I'm not going to let you just stand out in the darkness. I'm going to give you all the light you need to see. But nobody wants that. They want to look at the face of a man or a face of a woman to lead them and guide them. Everybody seems like they just forsaken the Most High. And he don't have no problem with it. Why? Because he knew who you were in the heaven. He just let you clown on the earth. He knew who you were in heaven. He just letting you clown on the earth. Because she ain't coming back there to live. So cut up from the floor. And that's what you're doing. That's why that gate was so narrow. And few shall find it. Few shall find it. For that same reason. The respect people have for the Creator himself. How could you think that the only one you could possibly think that created everything is a heathen? Or no, not a heathen, but a European. What you think, they created everything? Oh yeah, that's that mindset, that mindset of melanated people. Those people are all up here to them. Won't give y'all no glory, no honor, no recognition that he's all power, all authority. He ruled it from A to Z. Oh, no, we ain't giving it to him. We need a man we can serve. See if that man going to serve you. You just going to look at him and believe everything he says. So the truth of the matter is, it's a sad but a glad time. Because to me, it's a sad one, but it's a glad one. Because the good thing for me is to know that he got this. I love the idea of that judgment. I love it. And the wrath. Now, I ain't perfect either, y'all. I sin, I do things. So I ain't gonna say that I'm perfect. But I tell you one thing, when he chastised me, I get it right. I get it right. When he disciplined me, I get it right. And I like it. I like it. Because I look to me when he chastised me or corrected me and stuff, it's like he really cared for me, y'all. I'm just telling you my point of view of dealing with the Most High, y'all. It's like he really cared for me. It ain't even like the care of your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your friend, or nobody. It's like a, I care enough for you to get it right. How about that? How about that? So stop that. Get in your lane. You see? I don't have no problem with that. None whatsoever. I even went to the funeral the other day and I almost felt that it was me. I wished it was me. I know y'all said this lady definitely cuckoo clock. Look, I went to that funeral and said, ain't nothing on this earth worth looking forward to but chaos. I know a lot of y'all don't see that. Oh, you will. You will. And I ain't gonna say you will, and to say that it's gonna be a long time. You be lucky you get out of it. When I said lucky, to get out and be able to see next year the right way without being cockeyed, because that's how bad it's gonna get. But then again, you never know. You never know. Because people that is not truly of Yah is not observing the prophecies. They're not observing what actually is happening, even among their own people. They're not watching the tribe of Judah women. They're not watching the tribe of Judah men, the tribe of Judah children. They're not watching to see the house of Israel and what's going on. They're more so watching YouTube to see when their next person come on so they can hear. They ain't looking forward to none of the prophecies. I'll be on it. On it. I just heard about the volcano. And I'm like, that kind of match something that's prophesied. Oh, they say it's blooming. Even though we had a lot of little volcanoes erupt lately in the last couple of years, but lately too, as well. But this one here is one they say, if that one, and that's what they say is happening. So I'm looking at that as far as looking at the prophecy. Because before there's something coming out of the bottomless pit, but before that comes out of the bottomless pit, there got to be a real bad volcano. Yep. Yep. And that volcano has to kill a lot of people. It has to erupt to the point that it's going to mess up even the things above. And then the angel's going to be given the keys to go to the bottomless pit so that those scorpions, which I believe, now I ain't going to say I believe it. I ain't going to believe it. Whatever is coming out is coming after. To hurt and to cause sickness. So I think we really think we escaping something because we got life. It seems like we got life so easy and so peaceful. And I never look at it like that, even though it might appear someone come here and they say, well, Deborah, you leave so peaceful. So look, it looked peaceful, but guess what? On the spiritual realm of it, the truth of the whole matter, it ain't. It's things actually happening. I just like the hedge that he have around me so that I can continue to run this journey in my lane. But there's some things going on, a whole lot of things. And I say unto you again, as I said before, it's a sad thing how nobody is addressing unrighteousness. Nobody is addressing it. And it's okay. That judgment going to correct it. That's all I'm concerned about. So anybody in the live chat, if you have any questions to put before Sister Deborah, or you might even have answers, or if you have something you want to say, we got say 5 minutes to discuss anything someone might have on their chest, under the bed. Wow. No. You ought to quit. Yes, but yeah, I guess no questions, huh? No answers. No answers, no questions, no what. Yeah, they idolizing it, that being a true Jew. You know, you can be a true Jew and a true fool at the same time, and lost with a cause and without. I mean, they don't know how to put the things back in order the way things should be, in the way that they think and feel about certain things. You know, they show their stupidity. And I mean, you know how you, when you go to a funeral and you in line and everybody's looking at, viewing the body. Why is it? My ex-husband, he said he never knew that exists until I said something. I said something to him 3 years ago. I said, one thing I noticed about melanated people in my tribe, if someone's coming, they don't know how to give. If someone coming through a door, they don't know how to move out the way. To me, somewhere up here tells you, if you go to a shopping mall, why are you standing in front of the door and people coming in? Why do they have to say, excuse me? Why is it that you standing in front of the door talking, and you standing out in the public place? Always, if it's a restaurant, it don't matter where it's at. Here I'm at, we got a line. This lady just decided to park herself right in front of the cat, and she's just a friend. I'm kidding, folks. But and she stayed there. Her and the other ladies just standing there talking and talking about something that don't even have to do with the funeral. In front of the casket. Why it's open. Just standing there talking. I said, excuse me. Oh, why do I have to say that? My ex-husband thought I was crazy. And he said, ever since I've been telling him that, because he do it. When I had the store, I gave up the store, you guys. When I had the store, he would come in and stand right in front of the store. Why are you standing in front of the door and customers finna come in? They would turn around and leave. You know why? People don't want to have to beg you to come into a public place to do some shopping, but that's the way our people are. There's no anybody can talk about the tribe of Judah. It's me. I'm the prophet that y'all put amongst the tribe of Judah. I can talk. I'm the one that is seeing these things among my own tribe and reporting them to the Father like he don't know. And he telling me, well, what are you telling me for? I knew that. You see? And I'm just like, why do you do that? So he would get yelled at every time he come to the store, because he never understood, and even to today, that you don't stand in front of the door, and the door to enter or to go out. Why? It's all over like that. It's a people. We just a people that does stuff. We do a lot of things because we don't think, we don't have no I don't know, it's a lot of things. It's because you go where I stay, then when you go into the city where our nation of people are at, and even in the county, in the better part, you should see the way they conduct themselves. It's off the chain. It's like light and dark. So when you run around here talking about these people like this, they do us like it, you all missed it. You all missed everything that you have done to the Most High Yah. This is the nakedness he said that the world is going to see. They done seen who you are, but they're going to see your nakedness. That means the ugly of the ugliness from heaven. They're going to see it on earth. And that's when y'all going to come to swoop your tail up out of here. Because this country is going to see you. Or not just this country, the nation, all nations are going to hate you. For his name's sake. That means my power is going to allow them to do that. My will have set that. It don't mean you nobody. That's what people don't understand. That don't mean you an angel or you godly or you holy or you righteous. Just meaning he said this for them to hate your tail based on what they gonna see. And that's what they see. And they cutting up from the floor up as well. They ain't getting out of nothing either. They gonna be the ship that's gonna sink. So they ain't getting out of nothing. And this level of hate is so rooted, y'all, from them. Their level of hate it has gone, how would I say, high. Because this places I've used to go. When I go there, I can feel it, y'all. I can feel it. They're gonna set up a way that we don't come in the midst of them. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Because I sit and I go amongst my people when they say we go to the movies. If y'all see how we as a people act, we ain't been in that much slavery where we ain't free. That was our ancestors. Come on, y'all. Why do we have to act like that? Why do we be cussing and hollering and you give me this? Yeah. I mean, just it makes you look who you are. This is the nakedness, he said. So the judgment is coming upon that same route of that nakedness. So when you start to see the judgment going up upon Judah and Israel, according to the whole house, he's going to judge. Not the whole, he said the house. That means Israel. He's coming, and not coming. Let me stop saying coming. He's here. And a lot of y'all will never catch it. You'll never get it. You'll never catch it because you don't believe it's happening to your people, even as I speak. You don't believe these things are going on among your people because you done put a stamp on their head that they that you Jews, they the good one, they the good, they the did. So if they all that, why first is the judgment coming upon the house? If they all that, why? Why first them, Father? You had them in captivity for 400 years. Why is they getting the judgment first? Look like the heathens and Gentiles and the Europeans and all these other countries would get it first. No, The house gonna get it. Why? They've been there 400 years and they still ain't seen my mighty right hand. But they're gonna see it. They're gonna see it through my judgment. And they're gonna blame the heathens and Gentiles, even that. When the judgment hit, they're going to blame everybody except for themselves. That's the only way that's how they blame everything. They blame everything. Everything. If you sitting back and listen to these men talk on these devil platforms about women, as if they've been good fathers, good dads, good brothers, good uncles. They haven't been none of that. But yet, they're here to judge a woman. Now, what the women didn't know, and they don't still know, and the men should have known, but because they didn't take the position Yah created them from the throne in the beginning, that woman came from some man's womb. So when you looking at her ways, you better check me, said the Most High, because I said that I was visit the children of the fathers, not the children of no mothers, but the children of the fathers, 3 to 4 generations, over and over and over. Why? Because of their father's sin is in them. See, y'all getting away with it. That's what they set up here 400 years and lied, even when they thought they was awakening and didn't tell the truth. And now they're going to tell the truth on women. And you sat up here 400 years. And what did the 400 years say? The seed, because of your forefathers, you're over here. Still talking about the forefathers. See, y'all been saying the forefathers and men to men from the beginning to the end. And they keep saying, but the woman. That's why the Roman Catholic put in there that Eve entertained. Eve can't entertain what's standing before Adam. What you mean, Deborah? That don't make no sense. Eve can't entertain what is standing before Adam. The charge was given to Adam. So if she's standing there, he's right there. Who's really entertained? Who was told not to do it? The one standing with Eve. Get somewhere with that trash. So I, Sister Deborah, say, since no one don't have any questions, I say unto you, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I will be back at 7 p.m. Central Time. Anybody got a very important topic we can cover tomorrow? I don't know. If you do, we might cover it. Let's see. But I do know that the Spirit of the Most High Yah is laying on me some more. For a minute, for 2 weeks, he's been like silent. It's like you don't have to say anything, you don't have to. So I will say that if I can get a topic I can really expound on. To me, since everything is over and it is finished, it's really hard to find things to cover, because if it's over, it's over. And that's what he said. And they don't have no respect for that. 400 years. 400 years, and they don't have no respect for him saying you're worse than your forefathers. Well, wait a minute. Why are we here? Because of the forefathers. Why ain't the foremother? Because Deborah, they messed up from the floor from the beginning, and they still messing all the way to the end, because they don't want to address how they have wronged me as men. See, that's where the problem is at. They want to hold on to the coattail of another man that they think that's going to make them a man. Because he's going to give them some land, or he's going to give them some food, a roof over the head for them and their children. You riding on the back of the wrong one, bro. Because you're going to fall down with that same one, because you're the same way. Looking for something for nothing. And ain't doing the will of the Father, like he told you. He didn't tell you to go out here and lay up and have all these children and forsake them in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or make a woman liable for raising them. That's not the helpmate. That's not what he created her for. Even though she takes her stupid tail thinking she owned the child. Don't even understand the baby ain't even yours. And that's why women got stuck with them, because they were stuck on stupid. And they wanted to rule the children. And, oh, this my baby. This belong to me. You ain't taking my baby. I'm taking my baby with you. The world knew that that baby wasn't yours. And the world is always wrong. But you too ignorant to see that. And that's why you left with the same troubled child that's still locked up in the penitentiary. You still left with the same child that's on drugs and on all this other stuff. Why? Because it's his daddy's lineage. And you too ignorant to recognize that. That's why the men left. Because they didn't want to be liable for what Yah created them to be liable for. But they're going to stand on these devil platforms, because the devil platforms have given them a leeway to puff their chest out. Oh, I'm a man. I got my chest out. I'm lifting weights. I got my chest out. I got guns. I got my chest out. I'm a king, leader, and ruler. Get her submissive. Stupid, stupid, stupid. And ain't done a thing. None of that had to do with y'all. Y'all notice that? Everything I just said, what has to do with anything? None of it has anything to do with y'all. You supposed to be training up your children in the right way of righteous. You training your children up to your sons and daughters to show them that, look, I got 5 wives, 10 kids, and all kind of stuff going on in the house. I just end that with that. Oh, somebody's new. Okay, let me see. What does it mean to be a real helpmate? We got it. That's a good one. That's a good topic. What does it mean to be a real helpmate? Thank you. That's a really, really, really good. Oh, that's a really good title. A real helpmate. What does it mean to be a real helpmate? I'm going to do my thing in that, even though I know that by heart, but I want the Ruach to kind of give me something that's not in the light in this day and time. See, I'm going to tell y'all something. The Holy Spirit, when he gives you stuff, when he gives you stuff in the light, it out top any book. It out top anything Deborah can come up with, any man can come up with. Nobody has nothing else to say. You see, People can say because they don't know no better. But when the Ruach come to teach you and give you insight on something you're speaking about, that's the best way of learning and to be up under the spirit of the Ruach is when he, and that's a good one. And I'm going to cover that. And then this is what happens when you go into the books to be a real help meet. When you go into the books, you're going to see abuse, misusing, abusing in many shape, form, and fashion. Because the help meet that Yah created, listen to what I'm saying. A real help meet is not the help meet that man has created. You see, it's just like man. He created man first for a purpose, a reason in his bosom. He created him with his right hand and his stretched out arm. And he did not create them both at the same time because he wanted one to lead. He still wanted man to lead, to be the head. Okay. So when he created him as a man. And as a man, he gave him all the living. And all the living mean the seeds. They didn't come out of the woman. You get what I'm saying? No, they didn't. That's why he created man. You are over, and the reason why you're the head and you lead is because you've been given all living. It's in your womb. That was the sperms. Okay? He was given it all. That's why. Now, can he have a baby? No. Can he birth the baby? No. But he got all living in him. He got the seeds of the flesh in him. So what did he need? Pull up. Pull up. Let's pull up the help me to meet the will of the Father. What will is that? That man carries the living, transported to the woman, the helpmeet, and the helpmeet carry it 9 months, birth it, bring it to her breast, bring it up, feed it, nourish it as a baby. And before it can come out of her, y'all meet it at birth to give it breath and the spirit, which is life. That child don't have the breath of life in him or her until woman has birthed that child and brought it forth. Then that's when y'all take over. And when y'all take over, he placed the beginning and the end of that child that's born. That child can die right then and there. But Yah is the one that says breath of life and a spirit. You see? So the moment that child is born, so when they go talking about women having abortion and so on and so on, that's not a good thing to do. That's a deadly thing, and that's not a good thing, a dangerous thing to do as well. And it's not something righteous. But listen to this. When a woman abort a child, she abort one child that hasn't received the breath of life and the spirit image of Yah. Why? The child is living off of her. Okay? But a man that masturbate, he's dispersing all living. You get what I'm saying? So when you see the help, a real help meet me, is she's to meet the will of the Father so that the Father can bring life and an image into that child that's born. Breathe life and into it. When he breathes his breath, it comes an image, a spirit, like unto himself, his image. The child gets a spirit as well. You see, it's to meet the Father's will. That's the help meet, is to meet the spiritual will of the Father. And that's what's coming in that child. The breath of life is spiritual. And what else? The spirit that child is given is spiritual. So a lot of them don't understand it is not for the pleasures of flesh that a real helpmeet. No, that's not a helpmeet. That's trash that man has developed. And that's why they have belittled women and have the level of hate that Satan had in Genesis 3 and 15, men today have for women. And the Father said, it is well. Because he already knew it from the heaven. He knew before the heaven they was going to do that. He knew that no matter what he created, man was going to turn it upside down. If he makes something straight, man was going to make it crooked. He say up, man gonna go down. He said left, man gonna go right. That's what he did in the garden. So we're going to cover that. I think that'll be a good topic. And I think I will cover that. So Sister Deborah, spilling the seeds. Most definitely. You know, those seeds. See, this is why I was explaining. I know I shouldn't be going like this here and telling you all this, because I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. And I know I am, because a lot of you all don't really understand living in life itself. You see what I'm saying? See, the seeds are in the man's womb. And while he's masturbating and getting his lust on from his sick mind, he's spilling the seeds, which is life. Not life, living, that was put in him from the beginning. So while he's saying a woman committing adultery, I'm not adultery, abortion, she's wrong, and that's wicked and evil, and it's dangerous, and so on, with one seed. What about him? When he masturbating, how many seeds is he dispersing? You get what I'm saying? So when you really start to look at things in spirit and truth, you will see that all the lies that been told out of the mouth of a man, even as Adam said, that woman you gave me, she. And instead of saying, okay, I was wrong, I erred, I did what you told me not to do, he blamed it on her. But Yah said, I gave it to you. She wasn't even created. So if she was standing to entertain the tree of knowledge and good and evil, why was you standing there with her? Yes, now that's murder. Yes, it is. It really is. It is murdering. But see, you won't see them collect that, but they'll blame that on woman. They're murdering many seeds. She's murdering one child. They're murdering many seeds. This is why I say, Genesis chapter 3 and verse 12. What was that? But it's Genesis chapter 15. Genesis chapter 15 is where he told Satan that he's going to have his seeds and he's going to have his spiritual seeds, and Satan going to have his seeds, and there's going to be intimacy between them, which is the word hate. And that's the way men are conducting themselves today. Women are conducting themselves out of the way of their father, the seed in which they came out of. I mean, the wound of a man in which they came out of. And that's what the men don't get today, because they didn't realize that, wait a minute, we carry living? Yes, you carried the living. Why do you think he's saying he's going to visit the iniquity of the fathers, 3 to 4 generation? Why is he saying your forefathers? Why is he saying all this about the father? Because he knows where he had placed all the seeds. All the seeds were placed in the womb of man. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's the verse where he was blaming woman. And that also is still the chapter you see where the Roman Catholic went in to make the blame on her so that they can rule the way that they have ruled in power for men. It just shows you what they did. But the father says it don't matter. He knew all the time what was going to go up and go down. So it's still going according to his will, his judgment and all. So that's the most thing that's important. But I'm gonna try to cover that tomorrow. I think that's a good topic. What is it means to a real help meet? I'm gonna explain to you that it's not very much of an example. you know, in there. It's not very much of an example, because if he was out of order at the beginning, it's the same order, out of order, he's out of order today. So it's not like that they realize and have respect for a real helpmeet. It's out of order. Because okay, we're gonna cover that tomorrow, and then you'll see uh uh uh, exactly what a real helpmeet was in the eyes of the Most High Yah, not in the eyes of man. But we'll get to those verses where it's explained out of the eyes of Yah. Now, where man took it, it's not the eyes of Yah. Just like today, where we at today, it's not the way Yah created it at the beginning. A lot of things have happened and made it what it is today. But he letting you know, heavens knew it all the way, all the time, what it would be like today and tomorrow. He always knew. So I, Sister Deborah, say I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Time. I appreciate everybody in the live chat. And I say shalom and shalom.